So while I'm constantly trying to keep it fresh here for you guys, I've got a site. I've shown you one image at least, this one in fact, before at some point during the channel on a video. Threw it in at the end of a video of an explanation of what we're trying to put out, but at the time I explained that for reasons which I will go further into, that I thought that it could have been something like a farm, like your round hay bales and then your long oblong hay bales, right, which had fallen into some volcanic ash material or something like that, right? I'll get more into it because there's a few things here which do need explaining, which I'm likely not going to be able to explain. But they are glaring anomalies which you will have to figure out yourself. I can throw some pointers your way. More than anything really is the shape of this stuff. So I will show you a part of the narrative on this site. I suppose if you was going to go there and you would visit the visitor centre, this is what they would want you to believe, right? You can read it, I don't believe any of it. Some of it might be true, but it's up to you. The main thing is, because they call this a quarry, right? But if you look at how much material has been removed from around these supposed megaliths for transportation to a site where they're placed one on top of each other, like I'll show you, why would you remove so much material in the first place, right, to then lift it out of the ground? Now, of course, you would have to remove it from the actual ground anyway, so you'd have to cut under it. We don't see any of that from the holes. That's not got any of these blocks in them, okay? But why would you have to remove so much material from all sides of these things? Now, in my opinion, I can tell you, because this is what logic tells me, and that's how I operate. Like I proposed, look, I don't know if there were hay bales, round and oblong hay bales, but this stuff has definitely shrank at some point, yeah? I suppose you could even get the same effect if you, let's say, a site got covered over in ash or some kind of silt or something like that from a tsunami or a volcanic event. And then you was to cut these shapes out of the ground over time as it dried, it would shrink. Okay, so the ground would get lower itself because it's shrinking. And where you've cut these circular and oblong holes in the ground, that would shrink also, and then you would be left with these shapes, these pointless holes in the ground where you wouldn't need to remove so much material. And you know that my persistent theme is pointing out how much of the stuff I point out here was originally built from some other substance, some other method, and it's since turned into being covered over in what we see today. I can even point it out on these things here. Apparently, well, there is only one of these pillars, almost like something from the Hanging Gardens of Babylon, still standing today. The rest, they say, got blown down, knocked over during some earthquake event. But I just look across all these large rocks and I can see lines and circles and zigzags all over them, right? That's what I like pointing out. If you think that they've been cut from some cliffside somewhere and lifted up on here for some reason, I can tell you that they aren't even hollow. I can show you a picture what they, I suppose, archaeologists, young ones, would produce, and they think that they were some kind of stand to build a house onto. That makes no sense to me.